I was with one of my patients and she had told me that she was on Zepbound and she hadn't pooped in 7 days. Ma'am, what? We cannot go that long without pooping. Hello, hello. Typically on my channel, I love to talk about all things natural hair. I've been on my healthy hair journey for a while, and while I'm continuing it, I'm shifting gears for a little bit. So what I realized is that I was doing all this research and hearing about all the nutrients and vitamins to have healthy hair and have my hair grow. But then I thought, well, I should be putting these vitamins in my diet. I mean, wouldn't that make sense? Wouldn't that enhance it, right? So I've been on my healthy weight journey since January. And so what I've realized is when you make a change or for something like change your decisions about things, it has a compound effect. So as I was wanting to make changes with my hair, no longer wearing artificial hair, weaves, extensions, artificial lashes, I just want to be natural, I started going towards natural foods for my diet as well. It's kind of crazy how some things will have like a compound effect. Like say when you get better at making personal decisions on your boundaries, you have healthier friendships, healthier relationships. Or like when you make the decision to eat healthy, you eat at home more and it improves your finances. So I am on that compound effect right now. I'm experiencing that. So since January, I have been on this healthy weight journey and I've consulted my doctor and just trying different things. And now we are in June and I am starting on this medication, Zepbound. Now, unless you live under a tree or under a rock, you should know all about these injectable. I'm not here to talk about the controversy, whether it's for diabetics or if it's just for weight loss or whatever the controversy is. I'm just saying that I started it and I want to take you along for the journey. So after having conversations with my doctor, we had discussed everything ins and outs about the Zepbound medication for weight loss that I am on. And I'm going to talk to you about 5 things that my doctor and I have discussed before we even start this Zepbound journey. The number one thing that I had to start as soon as I got on Zepbound was stool softener. Now, this may not be your story, okay? But my doctor knows me. We've had a conversation. She's been my doctor for over a decade now, and she knows my gut issues that I've had in the past. So some people, when they take Zepbound, they have different reactions. Some people will have nausea, diarrhea, vomiting. I didn't have any of those symptoms. All I've had was constipation. And actually, I haven't even had constipation yet because as soon as I started the Zepbound, I started on stool softeners just like my doctor prescribed. So I was with one of my patients and she had told me that she was on Zepbound and she hadn't pooped in 7 days. Ma'am, what? We cannot go that long without pooping. And this may be TMI, but if you work in healthcare, shit talk don't bother you, okay? So when you're on one of those little apps, I have to track my BM movements. We'll call them BMs from here on out, okay? So if you have like one of those period apps where it tracks your monthly cycle, also track your BMs, and that's what I've learned to do. And my doctor had given me guidelines to follow and how often I should be having BMs and when I should have any concerns. Now, this is me, this is my body, this is my doctor. I'm just some chick off the internet, so don't listen to me, listen to your doctor. But that was the number one thing that I had to start. Now, the second thing I had to do before starting my Zepbound journey is a mindset shift. Now, I know that some people may think that these injectable weight loss medications is pressing the easy button, and it's really not. I mean, if you think about all the things that women have to overcome, for example, I worked 12-hour night shifts in the hospital. I worked against my circadian rhythm, and I worked in critical care. And it was stressful. And the weight kept on coming on no matter how often I worked out or what my diet was, and it kept on getting to the point where it's like, okay, my BMI is a little too high for me now. And so no matter what I did, it wouldn't come off. So even though I'm on the Zepbound journey and I'm taking my Zepbound injections weekly, I'm still having that mindset shift. I'm not going to be on these injections forever. So I had to learn how to prioritize both exercise, which I love to do, and my diet. A part of a mindset change is just being so curious about yourself and understanding why you do the things you do. So right now I am getting a journal. I have a journal. I am writing in it. I am talking about my days to myself so I can truly understand and figure out the patterns that got me to where I am in the first place. Like, I know what happened to me. I know, in my 20s, it was easy to lose weight. I can just do 6 weeks of cardio and the weight came off. But as I approached my 30s, that did not go the same way. I mean, I had to really learn and study how to lose weight. And I was never successful. I could only lose more than 20 pounds, and then I would fall off the wagon and the weight would come right back. I had to understand myself and personal habits that I had done over the years. One of the bad habits I had was after I got off my 12-hour night shift, so I got off at 7:30 in the morning, I would go straight to the kitchen and eat. A lot of times I wouldn't be hungry. I think I just had a fear that I would wake up during my sleeping hours and then my sleep would be broken. So even though I was doing that for such a long time, I no longer work in critical care. I work during the day shift and I get off around 3:34. And so I would still go into the kitchen and eat. And it's not even dinner time. I still have to cook dinner. It was just a habit that I had. So initially I had started to get healthy snacks in there, like plantain chips or sweet potato chips, so I could munch on something and it wasn't the kids' snacks. But now I had learned that because I was aware of the pattern that I had, when I pull into the driveway now, I sit in my car for 5 minutes. I do a little reset and I remind myself that no, I'm actually not hungry. It's just a habit. So I have to change my mindset. It doesn't matter if I'm just talking to myself or I'm sitting with calm music or I'm meditating for 5 minutes. And sometimes it's just 2 minutes, but I have that reset, that intentional reset in my car before I go inside to break that habit. Tip number 3 is resistance training. Now, I used to lift heavy weights, but I'm currently not because I have a strained muscle, like a back injury. So working out has never been a burden for me. I love doing it. But it doesn't matter where you are at and where you begin. I don't care if you're doing push-ups on the wall or if you're just doing resistance bands. Just know that resistance training is something that you're gonna need. If you need to lose like a large amount of weight, like over 100 pounds, extra skin may be unavoidable. And that's okay, because as long as you got your life back and you're healthy, then who cares about the vanity? But for me, I have about 50, 60 pounds to lose to get to my healthy goal that me and my doctor had talked about. So I would be lying to myself if this wasn't for some form of vanity. I'm gonna be honest with you. Of course it's for my health. Both my mom and my father both have diabetes. My father, who is very athletic, does boxing, works out, he's still got diabetes at 40 and he's in a good, healthy shape. So with that being my medical history, it was best that I decided to get on Zepbound to assist me with losing this weight. But here's the thing. I don't want these bat wings. I don't want them. I don't want them, okay? So before I'm even starting this Zepbound journey, I am getting back in the weights. Now, right now, I'm just doing resistance training with resistance bands. I'm doing seated dips, and I'm working on my triceps with kettlebells. And it doesn't matter if it's 15 or 20 minutes a day, I am in there. So tip number 4 is prioritize your protein. Here's the thing. Lifting weights, weight training, protein feeds those muscles. They go hand in hand. So when I was in a calorie deficit, counting calories seemed like torture to me. I mean, here it is, 1 o'clock and I gobbled up all of my calories. And so unless I was under like 15 or 1600 calories, I felt like a failure. And so now my doctor told me, do not worry about the calories. Don't prioritize calories, prioritize your proteins. So our personal goal, the goal that we set for myself, is 80 to 100 calories of protein. So I have learned to start my day off fresh with protein. So I get these egg white bites from Costco, 24 grams of protein. Then I get these Oikos Greek yogurt, 15 grams of protein. So I'm starting off my day already with the mindset of getting these nutrients in, which feed my muscles, and they just really make me feel good. And they will prevent me from even having the idea of getting starchy, low nutritious foods. And the fifth and final thing that I think you're gonna need and definitely put into routine before you start the Zepbound journey is a healthy skincare routine. Now, our skin is all over our body. It is the largest organ in our body, and each section needs different types of potions, okay? So if you got a little bit of melanin, you might be able to get away with it. I have a coffee sugar scrub. It has collagen in it, and I'm also using firming lotions and dry brushing. If you want me to talk about that more, I can get into that later, but right now I also am definitely prioritizing Retin-A, sunscreen, it's the summertime, moisturizer, collagen. I don't really drink collagen, but I just put collagen on the outsides of my body with my lotions and my creams. But if you want to drink collagen in your protein shakes, that's a good way too. But the reason why I'm doing this is to prevent having that saggy skin during this weight loss, because I know I'm going to lose weight from Zepbound. That's the whole purpose why I'm doing it. So I just want to make sure that I don't incur other additional problems on top of solving the one problem why I got on the medication in the first place. That's all for now. I hope these 5 tips are useful for you, whether you're starting a weight loss journey with injectables like Zepbound, or you're just on a natural health journey. I hope that some of these tips resonate with you, because they are for anybody and anyone who is wanting to lose weight. But because I'm losing weight at a faster rate, I'm really just trying to nip everything in the butt and be intentional and progressive with all the other things that I am needing. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.